This weekly parasha, Yitro, give us not only the dramatic description of the giving of Torah in clouds of glory, fire and thunder, but also a biblical example of organizational consulting as described in Exodus chapter 18, 13 till 27. The next day, Moses took his seat to serve as a judge for the people, and they stood around him from morning till evening. When his father-in-law saw all that Moses was doing for the people, he said, "What is this that you are doing for the people? Why are you alone sit as the judge while all these people stand around you from morning till evening?" And Moses answered him, "Because the people come to seek God's will. Whenever they have a dispute, it is brought to me, and I decide between the parties and inform them of God's decree and instruction." And Moses' father-in-law replied, "What you are doing is not good. You and all these people who come to you will only wear yourself out. The work is too heavy for you. You cannot handle it alone. Listen to me, and I will give you some advice, and may God be with you. You must be for the people representative before God and bring their disputes to Him. Teach them His decrees and instruction and show them the way that they are to live and how they are to behave. But select capable men from all of the people, men who fear God." Now this is the description of the leadership, the requirements from leadership. "Men who fear God, trustworthy, and hate dishonest gain. Appoint them as officials over the thousands, the hundreds, and the fifties, and the tens, and have them serve as judges for the people at all times. But have them bring every difficult case to you, and the simple cases they can decide themselves. That will make your load lighter, because they will share it with you. If you do this, and God so commands, you will be able to stand the strain, and all these people will go home satisfied." Moses listened to his father-in-law and did everything he said. He chose capable men from all of the Israel tribes and made them leaders of the people, officers for the thousands, for the hundreds, and the fifties, and the tens. And they served as judges to the people at all times. The difficult cases they brought to Moses, but the simple one they decided themselves. And Moses sent his father-in-law to his way, and Yitro returned to his native country. Usually, when rabbis give sermons on this Shabbat, we focus on the giving of Torah rather than on the organizational advice that Moses receives from his father-in-law. And it is somewhat relevant to the matter we are discussing today. Last week, at the end of the service, my resignation was announced, and I hereby confirm this announcement. I'll be serving you as a full-time pulpit rabbi till the end of July. Then we'll celebrate the conclusion of a successful decade at the pulpit and a friendly farewell. People who spoke with me in these last few months did comment that I don't look happy nor fulfilled. There were several reasons for that, but a big part of it was a solid feeling that the gap between me and the mainstream of South African Jews, a gap which was always there, is now growing rapidly, mainly since the last elections in Israel. I spoke several times from this pulpit about the matters of Israel, Palestine, and it wasn't well received. To that one should add a variety of instances when I was firm, strict, and sometimes loud towards South African Jews, not to their liking. I came to the understanding that the South African Jewish community is not going to transform itself at the pace and volume I expect it to do. And I concluded that in such terms, and with such a level of frustration, I can no longer fulfill my duties that you have invested in me as your rabbi. During these last months, I had a good chance to consider the matter carefully, and it is now clear to me that for the sake of all, it would be better if I'll step down from the pulpit. Many had asked me, what am I going to do? and there are many options, and this is not what we are discussing today. We can discuss it other time. Let me just emphasize that I and my family care a great deal about Beit Immanuel. Although I stepped down from the pulpit, we plan to stay here in Johannesburg and remain a part of Beit Immanuel as loyal congregants, as we have no other congregation. 2023 is a year of transition, but 2024 will be a year of celebrations. My youngest son Be'eri will be celebrating his bar mitzvah. Paul Davis will be celebrating his 80th anniversary. The shul will be celebrating his 70th anniversary. And I invite us all to think about who we are wishing to meet here in 2024 and act accordingly. Dear friends, transitions are never easy. I promise you, in the most solemn of ways, that I'll be here with you to take care of all elements, aspects, matters, and questions. We will assure that this process will be managed in a manner which encourages the transformation we all yearn for, and will take into consideration all the issues that we face, organizational, social, financial, and so on. I genuinely believe that this is a real opportunity to put things right, and I invite you all to move forward with us, to form ranks and rally around Beit Immanuel, our shul, our community, and our progressive Jewish values. There will be time for farewells. For now, let me just thank you, the people of Beit Immanuel, all those who had served and are serving in all our teams, the guardians, the MENCOM, all the subcommittees, the educators, the office, admin, finance, and ground staff, and simply to each and every one of you. I have nothing but gratitude and camaraderie toward you all. We will demonstrate that a rabbi can step down and remain a member of a congregation. In the future, we will walk better together. Together, we will build a better future for Beit Immanuel, for the Gauteng Progressive Jewish community, and for all South Africa progressive Jews. In the words of the psalmist, may the favor of the Lord our God shine upon us, and let the work of our hands be established. Establish the work of our hands. Amen. So be it. I'm not taking questions. Yeah.